Hello, my name is Arlie. This is Arlie Tarot, and today I have a reading for you. It's gonna be a pick a pile reading to see what you need to know right now. But I was called to kind of divide the piles up here in the moment with one oracle from this deck, and then just dive into it. There's also, sorry, gotta light my little incense here. I lost track of what I was saying. That keeps happening to me. It's been happening to me for like a week, which I should say like the past 2 weeks, honestly. Maybe there's something about that energy, and this could be collectively. There's like, because there's some kind of shift happening. It's almost like the old wants to leave and the new that's anchoring in is still like not palpable, not being able to like be perceived fully or something like that, which is why things like just fall out of your mind. That's interesting. Okay, anyways, yeah, let's get 3 cards for pile 1, pile 2, pile 3 in regards to what you need to know right now. Okay, let's see. I feel this is definitely a general collective, but then we're splitting it into 3 aspects because I feel like some of you are working in different things in your life, or different aspects of your life are in the forefront right now that are important for you to look into, and not everyone's on the same kind of track, if you will, right? That makes sense. All right. Okay, so we have our piles. So pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. Pile 1, I'm gonna give you this tiny cute little Dalmatian Jasper heart. Pile 2, this is a little, I don't know if it's coming through on camera, but it is a tiny little sun carving. He's even smiling, and it is fluoride. And then the tiny little snail, which is also fluoride. The snail makes me think of this photo that I saw today of the back of the snail, like the house, the shell of the snail, it's actually like the world, like the a snail is carrying the world on their back kind of thing. I don't know how that's significant, but that could be, if that's something you can resonate with, this could be your pile. Okay. Oh my goodness. All right. I'm trying to, there we go. All right. So yeah, go ahead and pick your piles, and I will see you in your readings. Obviously, I'm going to start with pile 1, and these 2 I'm just going to put off over here, and we'll get to them eventually. All right. Alrighty, pile 1. We are going to start your reading, and this is about what you need to know at the moment. I am so conflicted on whether, okay, I haven't seen your card yet, but your stone is Dalmatian Jasper, and it's a little heart. I don't know if I want to flip it over or not, if I want to do it at the end. Huh. All right, we'll just go with the flow. If I'm hesitating, it's probably because I'm not supposed to do it, so. And then we'll do it when we need to, right? Okay, that could be a message for someone. You'll know when it's time. Pile 1 is what I'm getting. You will know when it's time. Okay. Nothing can pass you by. There's nothing about you being too eager or being, it's too soon, too late. No, it's just as it is, as it should be. All right, pile 1. now that I've shuffled this, I'm giggling because it's like there's so much of a back and forth here. It is really interesting to me. Okay, I'm gonna put your little heart over here with the incense, and my little incense holder, which is a little cutie. Huh. Okay. yeah, we're gonna flip this over and see what it, oh, the thread. Okay, 70. The number 70 could be significant, or 7 in general could be significant. Let's see. I had to go get this book because I was like, oh, I'm definitely gonna need, I'm gonna need to read about the cards that come out. Didn't have it out here before, but is this the last one? It is. So this is the last card in this deck, the Archetypes deck, before we begin with the initiation. So this is really interesting because you could be, ooh, that could be part of your message. You feel like you're coming up to this initiation, coming up to this awakening, or coming up to this opportunity, you know, like too late or something. And the divine is saying, no, it's not too late. It's okay that you took the path that you needed to. For some of you, it looks all jumbled up. For others of you, it looks, you know, wavy. Others is more of a spiral, and that's okay. It's okay to have a unique path. All right, it's fine. All right, so it says, let me put it up in case some of you just want to pause and read this for yourselves. I'm someone that does that, so I'm just accommodating those. But the path, the bane, the circuit. You may think you have to find the thread and pull it. Imagine, though, that it is already tied around you, waiting for you to follow it home. Oof. Recall a moment in your life when you felt fully alive. The thread is waiting for you amid the details of the memory. So when this energy is in the light, in its life form, the circuit of meaning within chaos. Oh, that is beautiful. When dark, binding, frustrating, and taut. And to go deeper, the sculptures of Eva Hes, and I don't know who that is, and I don't know what they look like. So we're gonna look that up. Bear with me. Eva. I don't know if I'm saying her name right. Eva Hayes, and I should have. They were born in January 11th, so that could be a significant. I was born January 12th. That is so interesting. Okay, January 11th, 1936. Take that as it resonates. A Capricorn. I love that. Okay. Huh. Sculptures. Oh, you're gonna have to look them up because it's very unique stuff. Look at that. Look at this. Sorry, I'm playing stuff in the background, but yeah, Wikipedia could be it's something that you want to dive into or look up her. I'm just gonna put sculpture so I can get some pictures for you. Yeah, okay, very interesting abstract stuff. Actually, I dig it. I dig it very much. I like that. The web, that kind of web that kind of web okay, why can I, what is happening? I feel like I'm, okay, never mind. All right, I feel like I'm like 80 years old and I can't work an iPad. Anyways. So yeah, that was a info dump. Okay. Life is a tangle. That's why the web was calling me. Okay. So much happens simultaneously and circuitously. Okay. Leaving us grappling for meaning and direction in the network of distractions. You know what? This literally feels like the same collective I'm sorry, I'm screaming at you now, that I've been tapping into since yesterday, where I was just like thrown this way, thrown that way, look this up, oh, talk about this. Like literally it feels like that, which again, like I said yesterday, not blaming anybody for that. It's like a little Easter hunt that your life is being right now, and it's because of the things that you're trying to work through and pull yourself out of. but you have all the tools that you need, and you're just waiting. You kind of just have to rest in the moment, and divine timing is at play. Okay. So yeah, it's a network of distractions. When we cannot connect to the energy of the thread, however, we strike the deepest vein in the body. Our whole being responds to its tug, meaning is pumped through our bloodstream. Our mind and spirit are lifted. We remember who we are and what we came into this world to do. Though this happens in the most profound level, it could be the simplest incident that activates the thread. Yes, yes. A song, an image, a conversation heard in passing. No matter how confusing and multi-layered our modern lives become, if we are connected to the thread, we are free. Being tethered to it, it is the only anchor our hearts require. Okay. Okay. What is this thread? Deep, a deep inner knowing that you have, a deep inner wisdom, inner tug, literally, right? Something's tugging at your energy. I would advise that you guys drink something while you're watching this, because I feel like a lot of you might need water in your life, or just some kind of drink, because the dry mouth that I'm having is insane, and I shouldn't be feeling that way. Like, I drink a lot of water. I, right now, for the reading, decided to go with a sparkling water. It is really interesting that when I tried to open it, like it was faulty, so I had to like push that in. That's why it doesn't have a little thingy on top. I don't know why I'm sharing that. Anyways, I say that to say you will hear me sip on that, and it is fizzy, so I'm gonna make noises. But yeah, let's see what's tugging at your energy. Let's give you some confirmation that you might need at this time is what I'm getting. Oh my goodness, look at the two that are here on the split, you guys. The red thread of fate could be significant for some of you. Please take that if it resonates. Okay, don't try to make this fit, but it is literally in front of my face, so I cannot ignore it. Wow. To me, seeing these two cards side by side almost looks like now, like the Empress is she has pulled on the thread already, and she's over here, right? She's over here in the nirvana of whatever this is, in the really good side of things, while the Emperor feels like they're the ones who are now having to pull themselves out of this, and they're using that thread, the same thread that they used. You see how they're more like in the shadowy side back here, they're even holding something, right? Interesting. If this is not about a relationship with someone else for you, it definitely is about the relationship with self, and just how, one aspect of you at a time is developing its own kind of, every aspect of you develops its own strength through the development of character that you've been through in your life, in this life, and probably others that like that card said, that a random thing, something so simple, maybe an angel number, maybe an initial, a song, a smell, can literally help one aspect of you. If this is an internal thing and it has nothing to do with another person, okay, it just helps you pull you out of something that no longer serves you. This serves you up to this point, right? It has done it has fulfilled this purpose. Even our shadows fulfill their purpose, right? But we gotta leave them behind somehow, some way. And it's not, again, it is not behind in the sense of I rebuke that part of me or whatever. It's more of an acknowledgement that it's not needed anymore. And maybe the way that it was helping you before is not really helpful anymore because you've outgrown it. And that's if it's personal. If it's about connecting with someone else, what they want to say here is that you've done the work and, you know, just, I don't know what keeps making a sound and it's really bothering me. Okay, there we go. There is, I'm sorry. Again, the distractions are insane. You've done the work and you know how hard it is to do this, right? You got to be a little bit patient with whoever's at the other side doing it too, okay? You could definitely be connected to my reading that I posted yesterday about you met your match. That's what it's called. If I remember, because sometimes I don't remember things when I'm doing readings and posting the videos afterwards. But for part 1, I'll try and link that video for you if it resonates. If it's not, you don't have to watch it, obviously. The Chariot, the Queen of Cups, and the Three of Pentacles. It's almost as if a collaboration with someone could be what is triggering this energy, and you want that to happen, right? This, to me, it feels like you are expecting it. You sense this energy coming towards you. However, this is the energy of the person who is pulling at this thread. They don't even realize what they're pulling on, but it's like they're saving grace, so they're pulling on it. And in doing so, it's propelling them forward towards you. And again, this collaboration of some kind. The Nine of Wands. Whoa. This is such a powerful card in this deck. Makes me think of a spirit guide. And coming after this Three of Pentacles, right? We spoke about how it's a collaboration of this energy that's coming through. For a lot of you, it's definitely a person. For others of you, it could definitely be a spirit guide that's coming in to open, quite literally, your third eye, activate your crown, open your eyes to something that you've been not necessarily blinded to for a while, but more of you've been tiptoeing around it, and it's time for it. And this energy is not going to let you move forward until we address it. That's really interesting. Seven of Wands. I find this deck fascinating because this is the Under the Oak tarot, because these cards can be very, very dark and light at the same time, and sometimes they show you and they have you look at things that you did not notice before because it's hidden like behind layers here. You know, it's obviously, as a tarot deck, is magical, but I know that there's something here, but I almost don't want to shine a light on it and look at it because it doesn't feel important right now. But that could be that this energy, you are walking through, right? A threshold of some kind. It's like a final kind of path here. Not a final path, but you're arriving at a fork in the road, if you will. And there's a lot around you I want to say it's distracting you, but at the same time it's really not. You only allow not you, but your spirit guides allow the distractions that they want you to look at. You got to look at it in that sense, because I was getting kind of bothered with myself with me jumping around topics and pulling out the iPad, but obviously I know as a reader, as myself, whatever energy comes out and I embody when I'm reading, I shouldn't be like have an adversity towards it, because I'm just tapping into energy as it is, right? So I say that to say, don't judge yourself for your misdirections. You know, don't judge yourself for maybe thinking that you've made the wrong. Oh my God, we talked about this already, guys. We talked about this. I'm gonna bring it up again so that we have a visual. Like, don't, because your path looks like this, or it looks like this, or it looks like this sometimes, or it looks like this, or maybe it's linear and then it's just little bumps here and there. Don't shame yourself for that. Don't feel like you're less than or anything like that. Like we started this with saying it's divine timing, and there's a, I feel like you're someone who believes in that when it comes to others, but when it comes to yourself, you could be a little judgmental. Like, why am I not as further along as I should be? Or why, if I am as further along as I am, this hasn't come in? You know, there's something about that. Oof, the Hierophant, very nice. The Knight of Swords and the Two of Swords. Oof, there could be some triggers that are coming up to make you realize just how not behind you are. And I know that's such a weird thing, like weird concept, right? Triggers are showing you just far along you are, really, when usually we tend to say, oh, like if things trigger, you got to work on them. But I feel like the triggers that are coming up are actually things that are helping you break this glass ceiling that you've put up on yourself, kind of thing. Because you're the only one, again, not passing judgment, you're the only one holding yourself back. And you're not even holding yourself back either. That's kind of like what your spirit guides want to tell you. Like, you're just following, you're just doing the thing that you're meant to be doing, and that is okay. And your path should look different than anybody else's, because you are a unique individual. It is okay. Oh my goodness. Part 1. It is okay to take your time in choosing the things that you want to pursue. It is okay to take your time in deciding who you want to collaborate with and to what capacity. It is also completely okay to not want to accept some of the things that are being offered to you, whether it's coming from the divine, it's coming from a person, it's coming from a certain community, it's coming from a certain entity. It is okay to not want things until you actually want them, okay? They're here to say that regardless of whether, you hesitate a little bit, you say no to it, you're trying to feel your way through things, you rush in sometimes, you overthink maybe, or you let the distractions get to you sometimes. All of it is part of your story, and it is okay. Ooh, that's really interesting. They're making me think of, like, imagine if your story was like a movie. Like, why would you go from, being born to, I don't know, going to school, having a, like, quote unquote, what people, what is it? Society would deem like a perfect life or whatever. And then boom, maybe getting married if that's what you do in your life, and having a garden, and having kids or not having kids, or having a pet, and then boom, you die. Like, why? I mean, it is a beautiful story, but that doesn't mean we need twists and turns, is what the divine is saying. It's okay to have twists and turns. It's okay to postpone, to leave it for another day. If that's what feels right. And even if it doesn't feel right, if you're doing it, it's because it's the right thing. That's how they want you to approach your life from now on, okay? This is what the tether is trying to teach you here. But it's also in the same way trying to say you literally are almost there. Like wherever you think that you're like further away from, whatever it is, that thing that you feel like there's no way I'm even close to that point. Believe it or not, you are. Four of Swords, another four, another stace. Look at all of these cards here. The Hangman, the Four of Cups, the Four of Swords. These are all about like ruminating in that energy, but not grasping it per se. But also, they are the cards about resting, setting a foundation, making sure that the things that you're pursuing come up from a foundation, from a solid foundation. All right. I think, since I feel like this was not just about the internal personal journey, but it's definitely about two people. One person who has probably, not probably, 100% has come out of this energy because they pulled on that tether. You want to say thread, tether, thread, okay. Then you're waiting for someone else to actually take that leap just like you did. Or I guess not take the leap, but pull on it and pull themselves out of something so that they can also get to the point where you are, and then you guys meet each other. I just saw the Star card in this deck, and there's literally shadow and light looking at each other. So, all right. If this is for pile 1 and it is about someone else and them, what do we need to know about that? And then I think we're closing this reading. Let's see what they have to say. All right, taking those. We'll look at the bottom of the deck if we need to. Oh, it's a lot of cards actually. The Hangman again. Look at who's next. The Hangman and the Emperor. Okay, okay. The Two of Wands. All right. The Seven of Wands again. Knight of Cups. Five of Swords. Yeah. And the World. Yes. God, yes. Okay, remember, this is the last card in this deck before we begin and the fact that there's a web here. I forgot about that. Before the initiation cards begin. So yeah, the World card comes right. It's perfect here. It's perfect. Look at after the World. Look who's there. The Hermit. I really like that. I like that energy a lot. So yeah, here we are. You know, here we are saying, hey, this person, they're coming around. They're coming around. They just need to make their choices, you know, walk through. It's almost like this. It's actually the action of walking through without being distracted. That's what the thread is here to help them with, right? Staying focused in your path forward. Staying focused towards this transformation that they're doing. And this is such a perfect card because this is literally what I was thinking of. Like you were the caterpillar, you got into your chrysalis, and here you are out of it. This person's just right there. They're right behind you. And it is not a competition, and it is not about who's doing things first. It's not about that. And I feel like you know that. But they're saying, just like you completed a cycle, this person's doing that now. Okay? And if you, the viewer, see yourself as the counterpart to this energy, they want you to know that. And if you, the viewer, are this energy and your counterpart is the one that you feel like it's a little bit ahead of you, it is okay, my friend. It is okay. They definitely understand you. Okay? And just how I am over here giving advice about being patient and understanding that you go through a cycle and the other person has to go through cycles too. someone is telling that person the same thing. Maybe not in the same words, maybe not in the same way. With tarot and spirituality, it could be in many, many ways, right? It doesn't, the same advice can come from many places and in many forms. But yeah, they also know that you're going through things just like they are, and they're going to show you grace, okay? And the same grace, it's something that you should show yourself. So yeah. All right, pile one, thank you so much for trusting me to read for you. I appreciate you. I want to definitely thank your spirit guides and mine, your person, and obviously you, for helping me tap into this energy. And I hope to see you in other readings. Bye-bye. About two, you guys picked the tiny little fluoride sun carving. This is going to be your reading. We're going to look at this card to see what we need to look into and what you need to know right now at this point in time. The sword. Ooh, I really like that. I forgot that this card is, this deck has this card because I have a sword tattoo. Yeah, anytime that I get to show off my tattoos, I will, guys. Also, this is new. It's very freaking itchy because it literally is very new. I got it on Thursday. So yeah, Wednesday or Thursday? Tuesday, Wednesday, I think it was Thursday. I could be wrong. But yeah, she is gorgeous. I'll leave the link to my tattoo artist down below if you're interested. But anyways, the sword. Let's see what the sword has to say. The parallels in that card are really interesting. The sword being the dividing thing between that dark and light also is like pretty freaking cool. So 62. 6 and 2 could be significant. The number 8 could be significant. All right, can I find what I'm looking for? All right, here we go. Let me put this up in case you want to pause and read it. The knife, the blade, the weapon. Contemplate the Buddhist philosophy of the first and the second arrow. Swing the sword once with a precision and commitment. More than that will be painful for everyone involved. Ooh, okay, some kind of truth. Boundary making, prioritizing, and clarifying are all gestures made possible by the sword. The sword is a metaphor for the pen and the brush, the artist's fierce and graceful tools. When in light, cutting through what is essential. When dark, hasty, backstabbing, a dull and painful blade. To go deeper, Marina Abramovsky's Rhythm series. I'm not going to say that name because I'm going to butcher it. Judith Beheading Holofornet. What is I don't know how to say any of those words, you guys. I'm sorry. All right. So it says, to use the sword is to decide. Oof. The blade separates one reality from another. The choice is made and all falls away. If you find the sword in your grasp, you can no longer hesitate. This weapon requires a clear and decisive mind and a willingness to act. An onlooker may think the sword bearer is hasty and violent, but the most compassionate and responsible gesture is one that is honest, swift, and accurate. Our first encounter with the sword is at birth. When the cord, interesting, because we just came from pile 1, and there was the thread, and that makes me think of a cord as well. Okay, all right. When the cord we share with the mother is cut, this moment defines our separation from her and begins our journey of becoming ourselves. We must make these cuts again and again if we are to grow. Oof, that is deep. Decisions shape our life, and the sword is an infamous shaper of destiny. Oof, okay, that is profound and deep, and some of you are definitely being called to use your truth in as a way to transform, as a way to set boundaries, even dare I say, as a way to cross a threshold here. Interesting. Wow. All right, what does Paltu need to know right now in regards to the sword? That's imagine the Ace of Swords multiplied by like 1,000,000. It feels like if the Ace of Swords energy was in an eclipse, and that looks like eclipses to me too. All right, look at that. King of Swords. Whew. If someone can wield this, it's definitely this energy. Also, the Queen of Swords would also be someone who's very capable of using this. Okay, 4 of Pentacles. 8 of Swords. And the Hermit. There's a truth that breaks the foundation, honestly, the falsified foundation that you have around security, you know? And it's almost like it wants to break this energy free. So the sword is being offered to this King of Swords, who honestly, to me, since they're like literally set in stone, they feel like even that sword is also inactive when it should be active, right? It's also melted into that stone, if you will. And what they really want to do is give you this tool so that you can shatter the illusions that you have around. And it feels like illusions because these two cards together make me think of illusions around foundations and like your abundance and your self-worth. It has to do with that too. However, they do want to press it, kind of give you a foreword about this energy. Is if you're using it, you will spend some time alone, and it's part of the process. It's part of the solitude. Is kind of like the reward after using this, because it might be about a dissolution of some what is this about? What's happening? And the Tower. Damn. Okay. Yeah, it feels like setting a boundary, you know, cutting through the bullshit with this energy that is being offered to you could not only affect you, obviously it's going to affect more than you, because it might have to do with it. I'm going to just ask if it does or not, because what I feel like it has to do with a relationship. 3 of Wands, Empress, 10 of Cups, 6 of Swords, 2 of Cups, and the Wheel. Yeah, it's definitely about a relationship that has run its course here and things need to change. It's either this has been built on a foundation that is not suitable for the long run, that maybe both parties or one of you guys wants to establish here. So there needs to be some drastic change. You see this lightning here? It's right here too. It's almost like, yeah, you use the sword and it wants to just shatter it does want to shatter the illusion. And it's not even, some of you don't even have to be like speaking a truth for this to happen. How to? For some of you, it definitely is about, it could just be about you standing up for yourself. You standing up for yourself, and it just creates a domino effect of you stand up for yourself and then you realize, just on what shaky ground you truly were on. Look at this. Yeah, you were on shaky ground. Sorry, the smoke is coming my way. Hold on. You were on like a frozen lake, and it's cracked all around you, and it's almost like you couldn't see it until you decided to. And now that you are, you're like, let it all go to hell. It's fine. I'll be fine. And the spirit is here to say, yeah, you will be fine, especially since you were putting so much hard work into something, while honestly it feels like the other side was not being, something wasn't being reciprocated here, and you couldn't see it for a long time. And it's probably because you are, okay, you know, when you're like, there's something about you just being like giving, right? And sometimes, because that is your nature to just give, you don't realize just how little you're receiving. And it's not because you give because it's transactional for you, but in that sense, right, with saying that, since you give because it's not transactional, but others view giving as transactional, they just take without giving because they have nothing to give you. So there's kind of like something like that, right? And the divine is saying here, let these things shatter. Let the tower destroy the foundations of the things that you perceive are not working, and even the ones that you don't even perceive as not working. Will it give you some time alone? Sure. Will it maybe help you see how some connections and some soul bonds that you have here are not serving you in the best way? 100%. Will it affect a bit of your, there's something about wearing your heart on your sleeve, and how that's kind of not working out for you, my friend. And I don't know what, you will know if this fits for you. You will know if, you would know. I don't need to over explain that and dumb that down. And if it doesn't click for you, and that part, it's not for you. Yeah, it needs to be balanced. It needs to be, it's like, this is it right here, right? What you are deserving of and what you give others is the lover energy, yet what you're receiving is the Six of Cups. Beautiful energy, sure, but not what you're putting out. It's not what you're giving. So if you're not giving this, if you're giving this, you shouldn't be receiving this. This is, there's nothing like this. It's either this or you're kind of settling. And they don't want you to settle. Oh, that's what the sword is about. The sword is about not settling. The sword is about cutting these chains. You know, it could be around your neck and you don't realize that you could just take it off because it comes off. Like it's not too little where you could just lift it over your shoulders, over your head, I mean. But you maybe not see that. So, okay, cool. The divine is saying, no, I'm going to give you a tool then. Put the chain on top of a rock and hit that shit and cut it off. Cut it off. It could feel like cutting that off, it cuts you off from other people that you're used to be around. It definitely is about that. But when I tell you the little bit of pain that could come from using this, and it's pain that you're gonna have yourself, but in the long run it would have been worse, is what I'm hearing now. So yeah, you got to be very truthful. Set your boundaries. Cut shit off that does not serve you anymore. Is it going to be a tower moment? Yes it is. And also the divine is saying towers is always about you do it or I do it, but it has to be done. This card said this doesn't come in unless you need to use it. You cannot hesitate with the sword in your hand, because why did you pick it up in the first place? All right, why are you asking for a tool if you don't want to use it? Is what the divine is saying. Oh, this is such no one's angry at you, okay? There's just passion behind this, because this could be, I'm gonna see if it's tied to your ancestors here. This could definitely be like ancestral things. Two of Wands, yeah, you have like a protector with you. They're like, okay, well, you asked for help with this. We're giving you the enlightenment. We're giving you the tool. We're giving you even the step-by-step of what needs to happen here. You do it or I do it, but it's going to happen, because we don't call this energy forward unless we're using it. The divine is saying you either use it consciously or we're gonna use it. So which one is it? Choose your poison, kind of shit. Like, it's already here, okay? It's already here, so you gotta act upon that. But this looks beautiful. This time alone is such like a beautiful self-discovery journey. You're not gonna miss. Yeah, you might miss some people and places and things that were comforting because they gave you a little bit, but you were giving so much more and you deserve so much more. King of Wands. Interesting. Four of Swords. Knight of Cups, bottom of the deck, King of Cups. Huh. All right. I feel like that's your message, pal, too. Short and sweet. Maybe not so sweet, but definitely short and to the point. Yeah, they're saying use this tool that's being presented to you. It is time. It is time. They want to say to not also. There's nothing to fear. Okay, there's definitely nothing to fear. You are, if anything, you willed power, okay? And that's nothing. You should never fear your own power. And if that's what this is about, oh, definitely do not fear your own power and capacities. Even if it intimidates whoever it intimidates, fuck them. Who cares? That's all you, though. Beautiful. All right. Thank you so much, Pal 2, for letting me read for you. I want to thank your spirit guides, my spirit guides, you for letting me tap into this and deliver this message. And I hope to see you guys in other readings. Bye-bye. Hi, Pal 3. You guys picked the tiny Floridite snail. And this is going to be your reading. She's just going to chill over there. And before I start with you, I'm just going to light some Palo Santo and get this going. 1 second. All right. Pile 3. Let's see what you need to know right now. Let's see what's going on. The Warrior, number 10. That is so beautiful. You know, every pile has had like some kind of very like light, dark, rainbow to black and white kind of thing. I found that interesting. All right, number 10. Let's see what's going on. The Warrior. I mean, the snake. I'm going to just pull it forward because it looks so crazy. The snake, this right here, it is just wow. Wow, wow, wow. You're being like crowned with some kind of divinity or something here. Your crown could be very active at this time as well. Your tongue, because the snake being there going through like their mouth makes me think of like your tongue is what you're speaking right now feels like feels like you're speaking in tongues kind of thing, like you're invoking something. Oof, that is powerful. The sword, the lightning, a shield, and peace. That's so crazy. All right, so without a true purpose, manifesto or oath, the warrior is lost. What do you stand for? What are you willing to rise in the name of? Write it down. I just got this image of someone saying, write that down. Write that down. The Samaria, the soldier, the advocate. And then this side says, be careful, as the warrior implies war. The two go hand in hand. Those who defeat others are strong. Those who defeat themselves are mighty. Ooh, there's a reason why I have that underlined. I'm going to read that again. Those who defeat others are strong. Those who defeat themselves are mighty. Shit, that's a banger right there. All right. When light, fierce, clarity, purposeful action, resolve, and resilience. When dark, thread, savagery, abandoning mission and values. And to go deeper, I'm gonna just put that up there so you guys can see it, because I don't want to butcher names and things. And I struggle with pronouncing words that I've never heard before. So even the ones that I've heard, I'm like, I don't know how to say that. So, all right. We often envision the warrior as an armed figure with sword in hand, moving blindly towards battle. I wouldn't be surprised if for some of you, pile 3, all 3 piles will resonate, because literally pile 2 was the sword, and the sword is right here. And pile 1, what was pile 1? Sorry. Pile 1 was the thread. Do you see that? Pulling yourself up towards this. Okay. Pile 2 was the sword. So yeah, and now the warrior. Yeah, you could be like, you're like collecting Pokemons or something. You're like collecting little things, and then eventually it becomes a whole message. That's interesting. All right. Yet the deeper aspect of this archetype brings us face to face with the death itself. The warrior stands precariously at the edge of life and death, trusting the eternal to guide the sword's blade. Oof. The warrior's work requires presence, alignment, and purpose. If and when the warrior loses its center, meaningless confrontations and violence are their default response. This makes me think of Mars energy and Aries energy. When this card appears, it is important to question the battle at hand. It is likely a great one, with deep roots and long-standing tensions. The actions you take will stay with you long after the dust settles. That makes me think of the 5 of Swords card. The actions you take will stay with you long after the dust settles. So choose wisely, brave one. As you draw your sword, realign with the eternal wisdom within. Then surrender to the battle. Surrender to the battle is an interesting phrase. Especially with the whole of like when you conquer yourself, when you defeat yourself, you're mighty, and then you gotta surrender to the battle that it is conquering yourself, right? It's defeating your own self. A lot of ego work, a lot of, again, that's why there's crown activation here. The crown, the throat chakra are very significant, obviously. The snake, obviously, yeah. Kundalini awakening. Third eye is significant too. All right, let's see what's happening here. 9 of Swords, 2 of Swords. Talk about literally battling yourself, and this could be a self-battle around your mental health too. There could be triggers that come up here in this reading, okay? You've been warned. Please take anything here with a grain of salt. Don't make it fit if it doesn't, okay? But yeah, you've been going through some dark times here, pile 3. What do they want you to know, though? What's going on with this? Queen of Pentacles. And the Nine of Wands. Okay. Oh, wow. You know, yeah. Because look at who's at the bottom of the deck, the Empress. This makes me think of, again, it came out in another pile. I don't remember which one now. I think it was pile 1. A spirit guide trying to activate quite literally your crown and third eye. Do you see that? I see it. I hope you see it. And then in return, there you are. You know, your true essence has to come through after this death and this rebirth that's happening here, because 9s are about endings. 9 of Swords, 9 of Wands. I want to put these 2 energies around that 2 of Swords, because the 2 of Swords it's kind of like you realizing the patterns that are happening and wanting to fix it, wanting to bring balance into your mind. The mind is significant here. Your mind could be playing tricks on you. It has been for a while. That could be dealing with mental health, but also just dealing with maybe your spiritual awakenings kind of trigger, and they come hand in hand. And that's how they manifest in your reality. They manifest with your mind going into spiral sometimes. But I want you to know that you're balancing this, okay? Especially because it feels like you internally are doing a lot of inner child work and setting new boundaries for yourself, and also with the divine too, your own practice. And there you are, being a master at it. Right off the bat, this card came out right one after the other, right? And this one came up before that one. So it's like you're already doing it, but you need to see yourself for this powerful being that you are. Okay, there again, like, look at this. Look at this. That's right there. You know, you taking the blindfold off. Like, this is already happening. She's already taking the blindfold off. And that could be very anxiety inducing. So you could be experiencing a lot of anxiety at the moment, or unsettling. Like, I'm seeing someone who could, like, sometimes even have like panic attacks where your body like is just vibrating and shaking. There could be some of you, this is not for everybody, that even your medication seems to not be working because even though you're medicated, you're still receiving so much activation that is like messing with you chemically or something like that. I'm hearing you ride that wave through, okay? You're doing the best that you can, and that's what you should keep doing. I just know that there's so much activation and like reaffirming coming of, like, there's reaffirming in the 3D of who you are coming your way, and closing of a cycle that I feel like this goes here, that maybe started, I want to say probably like 7 to 9 years ago, could be significant. Yeah. This that they're holding here with the Page of Pentacles is what she's holding here. I just heard started from the bottom, now we're here. And Judgment under the Two of Swords is very beautiful. What a parallel, what a contrast here of energies. Even these two, they're literally back-to-back cards, 9 and 10. They are so different. This is very shadowy and like not being able to like move forward and being trapped, and boom, here you are, not trapped at all. Fuck that. You're like free, seeing completely, not afraid of the knowledge that's being offered to you here. And then we move over here again, not sure, kind of like on shaky ground. This feels like they're on ice and is cracking. That's what I see always, even though it could be not that. But and yet, you know, here you are. Oh, I just realized they're also not wearing the blindfold, but the tree is like covering them. I was like, oh, they have sunglasses on. No, it's a tree. Ooh, and the white stag is back there. Whoa, it's like the earthly manifestation of this energy comes through for you as a white stag, or just a stag in general. Interesting. The snake is there too. They're here. Everything around you is very symbolic. Maybe you're someone who does see symbolism everywhere. That could be part of what you consider like a mental something that you struggle with, you know, like delusion or whatever. But like, no, there really is a lot there's a lot of things trying to communicate with you here. Signs, synchronicities, constantly. 10 of Wands, 9 of Wands, 10 of Wands. Come on now. I have to put this here because it goes there. And these two go together. All right. Yeah. Look at that. My music stopping all of a sudden. Interesting. It like glitched. You guys are crazy powerful, and I don't think you even realize it. I think you've been, that's what it is. For a very long time, Pal 3, people have been asking you to dumb it down, okay? Dumb it down a bit. But you cannot dumb this down. Come on now. Like, maybe you can dumb this down a bit, but you cannot dumb this down. Look at that lineup. Look at the imagery. Wow. Like, how can you dumb this down? Like, how can you hide this? How can you like simplify this energy? You cannot. It's out of this world. Oh, and that's who you are. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. You are a spiritual warrior. It literally is in front of my fucking face and I didn't see it for the longest time. And that could be your experience in this lifetime. You are in front of people's faces, being very authentic and very much yourself, and you're not seen. But you know what, Pal 3? It's because you almost don't see yourself either. And it's time. It's time for you to see yourself for who you truly are. You're a breaker of something because you are always at the precipice of an ending. I wouldn't be surprised if you're someone who arrives at people's lives in places where even jobs, whatever it is, when they are at the precipice of a complete shift. And even this card being a 10, and then the 10s that came out, 10, 20, 10, 1111, if you will, is here too, 1111. But yeah, let me not get sidetracked. Yeah, you come in towards the end of something because you are there to finalize it, brother. Like, you're just there to, like, you know, if someone was finishing something up, you're there to, like, hammer in the last couple of nails, because that's the energy that you bring. And it's not that it wouldn't have been done without you being there. But your energy feels very Capricornian. I see it now, where it's like, because you're there, or Earth sign in general, it's being done correctly. We're closing the chapter the right way. But you also do it in a fierce way. Like, right, you're very fierce. Your energy is very big. It's honestly a little bit of like, you might create anxiety on others a little bit. I'm not saying, don't take that if it doesn't resonate. I'm not saying it's like a bad thing. If anything, it's like activating for others. Also, your strong sense of boundaries that you've been working on also activate other people. They make them realize where they are lacking in boundaries as well. Ooh, interesting. And you bring healing, and you bring healing, Pal 3, to yourself and others, okay? And I'm gonna show you the bottom of the deck to kind of hammer in that message, pun intended, of healing. That's that cup overflowing. Yeah, your cup is always overflowing. But you are so weird. You're so weird and so unique. It makes me think of the card that I pulled for myself today. Hold on. From the Starseed Oracle, I pulled, "You're not for everyone. Embrace your weirdness. Face your true north." This is my card of the day. And I'm gonna work all of May with this deck because I feel called to. So that's what I'm doing. And yeah. I can see, like, you're literally like an alien. You're not from here. You are, but you're weird. You're weird. And the more you embrace it, the more activating you are, the more healing you do for yourself and you do for others. The more you are even like a beacon of light for others, even when you trigger, it is welcomed at the same time. It is really interesting. Wow. And this being Saturn and the rings, again, I go back to that Capricorn and Aquarius energy, and it would make fucking sense. I'm sorry, I've been cursing this whole video, I don't care. Because yeah, you're weird. You're weird in the best way. Okay, you're not for everyone. I'm gonna show you what I underlined today. To own all parts of yourself so that your people, the ones who are the same kind of weird as you, can recognize you when your paths cross. So you're meant to be yourself. You're meant to keep being the spiritual warrior that you are. keep sharing and overflowing onto the things, places, people that you resonate with, and that you know, appreciate you and see you for who you truly are, because that's how you're finding your groove. And I feel like you're doing that already. That's what you have been doing. And if anything, the 10 makes me think that this is a cycle that you're closing, in the sense of you're integrating this lesson of, hey, be weird, be who you are, because it shows others that they can also do the same, even if they're like you or not. But it will still show them that, hey, it is okay to be yourself in this world where maybe the community around you is very cookie cutter. It's okay for you to be a different shape. It's okay for you to mold yourself into whoever you want to be. It's fine. It's fine. Right? Yeah, embrace your uniqueness is what it says here. Let the world see who you really are, to reveal your multifaceted, multidimensional nature, not to dim your light according to who is in your presence. Yeah, don't dim your light at all. And a question that this asks you is, how can you embrace your awareness and not care so much what other people think? And that could be your homework here, okay? Thank you, Paul 3, for trusting me to read for you. I want to thank your spirit guides, my spirit guides, obviously you, for letting me tap in. I'm sorry if part of this was harsh on you. This deck can be a little bit of a call out deck, but yeah, overall, I want to send you a lot of love and acceptance, and I see you, and you're beautiful. And you should believe that too, and the right people will also see you and think you're beautiful. You know, even if you're very, very, you know, unorthodox or weird, it's okay. I still love that. You know, you look like a biblical angel. You could be scary, but also fascinating. You know, that's you. That's you, and embrace that. All right, bye-bye. See you in other readings.